we are short of about 7 to 8 million nurses all across, 7 to 8 million nurses, sorry, all across the world. If I talk about Canada in specific, uh, they are uh, roughly about, uh, I think till about 2030, Canada needs to have about 120,000 more nurses that they are short of. Okay, because they have aging population, they have a lot of the locals don't want to work at a pay that hospital may be willing to offer. So the demand is simply huge there's a big gap between demand and supply. And many of the ER rooms, many of the ICUs, many of the theaters are being closed, not because they don't have space, but because they don't have nurses, uh, you know, nurses in the hospital. So uh, there is acute shortage of at least for Canada, at least 120,000 or 120,000 nurses by 2030, which is not very far away. That's 5 years from now. Okay, and Canada welcomes internationally educated nurses, overseas nurses, very much, and you know, uh, they look forward to have people like you, experienced nurses like you, who can serve Canadian patients and be part of their healthcare system. So I think huge demand, no doubt about it. And of all the Western countries, except UK, where the demand is very, very slow right now, um, I think most of the Western countries, out of the most Western countries, I think Canadian process, I mean, second to UK. UK is probably the most easy one. The the Canadian process is very, very quick compared to US, especially for people from Indian subcontinent. So I think great demand, huge demand, supply shortage, and the transition process or uh, the immigration process is much simpler in the case of Canada versus versus Australia versus
NM, GNM.
US. Yeah.
NM कर लिया GNM चल रहा है.
Yeah. Okay. So the um, all of you on the call should be very proud of these opportunities that are available. Make full use of opportunities, and you know, um, yeah, full use of opportunity, and ensure that you have a better life for you and your family.
Thank you so much, Mr. Madan, to clarify this. Now that we know, this is for everybody's clarification. Now that we know that nurses, which are internationally educated, are so much in demand and are required to be there in Canada. Mr. Madan, what exactly is the hiring process for a nurse? I mean, if I'm a nurse and I have done my BSc, GNM, ANM, how can I start, and what is the hiring process that I have to go through to work in Canada?
Sure. So I think very simple. Like any other country, you need to be at least a BSc for Canada. I mean, GNM or PCL, which is in Nepal, or diploma would work. But I think it's better if you have an undergrad degree. So BSc in nursing, number one. Number two, like your home country, you have to register in Canada as a licensed nurse in any of the provinces. Okay, you can also transfer your Australian NCLEX or US NCLEX mm, uh, to Canada. Very, very simple. So you need to have a license. I won't go into the details right now, but licensing process can take you between 6 to 9 months if you haven't appeared for NCLEX exam. If you appeared for NCLEX exam, it could be fairly fast. So licensing is very, very important. Once you've done the licensing, you reach out to us, or even when you're doing the licensing, reach out to us, register with us on what we are calling it a Dare to Dream program. And we will help you prepare for interview, help you with resume. So we'll do all of that and set up your interview with employers in Canada. Okay. As I said, the demand is very, very high. And for example, by this December, we need to send 300 plus nurses to Canada. Okay. And the process takes from 6 to 9 months. So basically, if you want to be there in December, January, then you need to start the process today. Okay. So we will set up the interview for you. Coming back to the process, you need to register into license, register in our program. We'll set up your interview. And once the interview is done, we will, of course, prepare you for interview and resume writing, etc. If you're selected, once you're selected, not if, when you're selected, we will go through and help you with the immigration process. And usually we go for work permit that's based on LMIA process. And once you have done, which usually takes about 3 to 4 weeks, or, I beg your pardon, 4 to 12 weeks. And once you get your work permit, we'll help you find accommodation, etc. in Canada. And once all of that is done, you are ready to fly. Okay. So licensing and registration, preparation for interview, appear for hospital interview. Once you're selected, you follow the whole post-selection, visa, immigration, travel, family visas, etc., etc. So all of that, that's the kind of process. It takes about once you've done registration, once you're a licensed nurse in any of the Canadian province, it should take you about 6 to 9 months. And the licensing process itself can take between 6 months if you have not even started yet. All right. So hopefully this helps. Long process, but if your documentation is complete, it can be relatively fast. I've seen people getting registered licensed within 2 days in places like Alberta and Nova Scotia once you have cleared your NCLEX.
Okay. Thank you so much. So now we know that this is a long process, and yes, it needs to start soon so that you all can actually maybe some of you will be able to celebrate New Year's in Canada for sure. So, Mr. Madan, how many nurses are actually required, and what is the eligibility criteria for a nurse? So, for example, they need to complete their registration. What is the number of years of experience, education, NCLEX, IELTS? I mean, what exactly is, how can I consider myself as an eligible nurse to work in Canada?
I think you asked a couple of questions in the question, so I'll try to break it down. First of all, how many nurses are required? As I said, they are short of 120,000 nurses in next 5 years. Okay, so lot of nurses are required. Okay, but bringing down to concretely, so the provinces that we work within, We have already signed contract with British Columbia, with Ontario, with Manitoba, and we are just finalizing details on Alberta and the NFDL and PI. Okay, so just in BC alone, British Columbia alone, we need upwards of 300 nurses to 500 nurses in next 6 months. Okay, which means I should be talking to about 1,000 plus as of now to get them selected. Okay, so the demand, is we have. So if you look at the job openings, typically the job openings are in the space of ICU, ER, medical, surgical. These are kind of um, top three job requirements, I would say. Okay? Not to say that the other ones are not important. They are. Okay, so if you are in OR, pediatrics, ICU, ER, or even community hospitals, okay, feel free to apply. I mean, these are hot priorities for the hospital, ICU and ER, but that doesn't mean others can't be hired. They can be hired. Okay, so when in doubt, check it out with Nursify to see if your profile will fit. Okay, number one. So we need about, let's call it about, just in BC alone, about 300 plus nurses by December or Jan, which means I need to start the process today. ICU, ER, definitely on top of the list, but everybody else can also apply. We are also looking for certain long-term care and private support workers, both RNs and private support workers, another 300 of them in Ontario. I think that's a very, very good space to be in. So I think that will be very, very interesting. A typical experience that you need is the compliance requirement is at least 1 year experience in last 5 years. But the more experience you have, the better it is for us to position yourself. But I think minimum 3 to 5 or 3 years of experience will be good to have for you to become competitively eligible for the client, okay, for the hospital. As a RN, I'm talking only RN right now, registered nurse. So to answer your question in more detail, I said number of 500 at least in BC, 300 to 500, I beg your pardon. Two, you need 3 to 5 years of experience. Some of the specialties like ICU, ER, hot in demand. And I think if you have an international experience, they are very, very willing to take you, forward. So again, great demand. And you need to be at least licensed to start working there. In terms of salary, I think you can expect a salary of between 75,000 Canadian dollar upwards, okay, which is about roughly about, I would say, Indian rupees 50 lakhs, okay, or 45 lakh rupees to start with. And you can earn overtime, you can earn incentive pay on top of this. So we need a lot of nurses to start with. You need to have 3 to 5 years of experience. And the whole process, by the way, is fully paid for by the hospital. So your air ticket, accommodation for temporary accommodation for a few weeks or at least a month is well taken care of, and the hospital will take care of relocation cost as well. Some provinces is even willing to pay for the licensing cost through the College of Nursing. I know College of Nursing in British Columbia is very, very open to do that as well. Okay. So hope this helps. Sorry if I missed any part of your question, but if I did, please remind me.
No. Actually,
Address
it
that.
was no, not at all. We've understood what exactly how exactly will be the eligibility criteria and what are the nurses' requirement there. So and these are I'm so sorry, but I would like to reiterate this question. But these are employed these what type of employment contract are usually offered? These are temporary, contract based, or permanent?
No, these are typically a 2-year contract, full-time job. Okay. Um, Usually, we don't get involved in a temporary worker's job because many of you will be leaving your home country and going to Canada, so we don't want to leave you high and dry. Okay, so definitely there is, uh, you know, uh, these are uh, these are full-time jobs, a minimum contract of 2 years, and you do have the option of doing uh, temporary jobs as well, but we don't typically hire for short-term contracts. But if you're open, we can always look at it. But most of the time, these are full-time jobs.
Thank you so much. So now, for everyone else who's willing to ask any question, they should put it in the comment box. Apart from this, I wanted to tell everyone that at the end of the webinar or maybe in between, I will be sharing a link with everyone. So I've been getting a lot of message how exactly we can go ahead and apply for these opportunities. I will be sharing a link with you with which you can apply with us and share your resume to schedule a screening round. So before we proceed to the next question, Mr. Madan, now that we are clear that the provinces are British Columbia, is there any other province that these jobs are located in right now?
Sure. So I think what we are seeing right now, we have a demand from British Columbia. We have a demand from, and within British Columbia, we are working with clients like PHSA, uh, which is Provincial Health Authority of BC. We are working with ICBC, the Insurance Corporation of British Columbia. We are working with CLBC, which is Community Living British Columbia, and uh, there is one more. I forget the name right now. I think it's First Nation, if I remember right. Those are 3 or 4 clients we are already working with. In addition to BC, we do have a lot of requirements in Manitoba and NFDL. Okay, sorry, PEI. I beg your pardon. And so these are 3. Alberta as well, few, and Nova Scotia as well. So I think BC, Manitoba, Nova Scotia, Alberta are some provinces that we already have vacancies for. We are working with uh, other agencies or other. When I say agencies, government agencies, to sign the contract for other provinces as well, and hopefully we will be able to uh, come back to you with other provinces as well. But I think I would not worry too much about which province. I think as long as you get the job, that should be possible. Some of them have asked the question about IELTS. So yes, you need IELTS score of 7 if possible for registration, and 6 for immigration. And yes, there is home care nurses also can apply, and we'll be very happy to help. So just to give you an idea of the home care, you will get two or three kinds of jobs for home care. One, you'll be taking care of elderly at home, so that's home care. You'll be taking care of retirees in the long-term care, so that's in the nursing home. And last but not the least, you could be helping a aged patient who may be in the retiree home or long-term care. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. But keep this question flowing. I'm sure we can. I'm sure we're going to cover these in the due course of the webinar.
Sure. So, Mr. Madan, because we are getting a lot of questions. How long does it usually take? If for a nurse, if I'm a nurse who've completed their licensing process, or if I'm a nurse who has not yet started the licensing process or yet to complete the licensing process. So how much time would it take?
Sure. So I think if you have already done your licensing, usually between 6 to 9 months. Okay. From the day you approach us to the day you're interviewed, you will be interviewed within 2 to 3 weeks. And I think then we can take the process forward from there. 6 to 9 months. It also depends. It can happen faster if the employer needs you fast and is willing to provide all the documents, of course, right? My assumption in all of this is NCLEX is already done and you're licensed. Okay. One of the questions that was being asked was NCLEX. Yes, NCLEX is required for you to register and get licensed in Canada. So that's point number 1. Point number 2 is, if you're not licensed, then you need to start with NNAS process, where you basically upload your document and find out, before that you find out through WES or CES if your credentials are equivalent to the Canadian education requirements. So if that is the case, the NNA, the pre-licensing process can take about another 6 to 8 months as well. Okay, if you're not licensed. But my humble suggestion to you would be, if you're not licensed, if you haven't started the process yet, get ready for NCLEX, appear for NCLEX quickly, get your license registration process going before you approach us. But even if you've just started the NCLEX journey or have not done it but interested in going, we can start to prepare you and get you through the process as quickly as possible, because again, as I said, the demand is simply huge and we are short on supply at this point in time. So, which means to say that we have more requirements than the nurses available right now, even on the call. Just take an example. There are close to about 50 plus people on this call. And if we need to send, 500 plus nurses in the next 6 months, that's the time it takes. I need to do this webinar 10 times. Okay. So, uh, jokes aside. So I think, we do talk to our nurses on a day-to-day basis, and uh, so definitely, um, plenty of opportunities available. It takes between 6 to 12 months if you're not licensed. If you're licensed, 6 to 9 months, and you should be, uh, able to move with your family to Canada as soon as you have all the process completed. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So now that we have got an understanding of how much time does it take, and we have been getting a lot of requests, and how exactly that they can get a PR, a permanent residency, to stay in Canada. Like how long does it take for a nurse to get a permanent residency after working for a while there?
Yeah. So I think the answer to this question, if you're already in Canada, of course, it's going to be different. If you're already in Canada um, and have a work experience of minimum 1 year, uh, you can apply for the PR. This thing, the PR process can take anywhere between express entries about 6 to 7 months to a normal process around 12 months. Okay, so but before moving to Canada, uh, it is a bit harder for you to apply for PR because the scoring requirements are between 500 and 600, and I've not seen uh, many of the nurses scoring more than 400 in the CRS system, unless you get provincial nomination, which is not so easy to come by, which is time consuming, right? So to answer your question, 1 year, once you land there, started to work, and you have 1 year of experience, then you can start to apply for PR.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Mr. Madan, because Canada is one place that has been talked about a lot. So, how exactly do we make sure that candidates are protected from other fake offers that are or some kind of misguided information that they get all across regarding Canada?
Yeah, good question. I think uh, we have been now, uh, we work on recruitment globally. Okay. Um, Canada, uh, although we started the process 3 to 6 months ago, we've been working on this research and immigration and compliance requirement and license requirement for the last 1 year. Okay. So uh, many of the companies are uh, kind of selling job offers at a very, very exorbitant price, which you should not fall uh, prey of. Um, the uh, the best. So first of all, Nursify will never ask you for money for the recruitment process. Okay, we will never ask you for money. So do not pay for any recruitment process. Number one. Number two, always make sure that you have your documents completed and those are authentic. Okay. So, the recruitment is absolutely free of cost, because we would like to make money from the hospital and not from you. Having said that, we only invite nurses who are serious, okay, and who want to stick to the process, okay, because the process is very, very long, and it is going to take some time to process your visa and licensing and preparation and uh, coordination with employer, etc. So we ask for a security deposit, which is refundable at the end of the process. But you do not have to pay us to get yourself hired. Okay, that's a clear no-no um, in terms of recruitment process. So don't go to my suggestion. If you have a lot of money to spare and you want to just throw it away, it's your call. I'm nobody to give you advice on that. But any agents who are promising you jobs with huge sum of money, kindly don't fall prey to that. Number one. And that's why we clearly say we ask for security deposit, because we want to have serious people. We don't want to have people, hey, let's go to Nursify, try this out. Let's use Akshit's time and Chandra's time. Okay. Get some practice, get some hands-on, and then say, bye-bye. I'm not going to join your program. Sorry. We're not interested in people like that. Okay. So because Nursify will be spending a lot of time, energy, resources in making sure this works, we want only serious people who are, uh, commit to the process. Okay. So don't go to agents. And by the way, unlike other companies, we work based on demand. Okay. So for example, we have a demand of ICU, medical surgical nurses. We have demand for emergency room, and we have a demand for long-term care. So, we do not unnecessarily charge money, bind you in and then send your profile to the hospital to select. It works the other way around. Hospital will tell us what specialty they need, how many they need, and then we go and look for nurses. Okay. Yeah. And if your requirements are complete and you're authentic, so for example, requirement is license, IELTS, BSc, 3 to 5 years of experience. If you have all of that, I mean, you should be able to go, and you have a good, excellent communication skills. And rest of it, we will help you manage resume, we'll help you polish your resume, prepare you for interview, organize interviews. And by the way, you don't have to go there to do it. All of this will happen virtually. Okay. Yeah, maybe I got a little carried away, but hope we answered the question. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Madan. Now coming on to the real thing, now that we know that what Nursify will do in making sure that we nurses reach out to their dream destination of Canada at a time of their preference on, and their dream actually comes true. How exactly, what kind of support will be there provided? I mean, I'm sure you just mentioned about the interview preparation, the resume writing. What kind of support does Nursify provide after a candidate gets selected? Because this is what the process that will be there before they get selected. What is it that we get after the selection is done?
Yeah. So I think the typically in the whole journey, right from the time you apply to the time you finally land, and even post landing, Um, so before the selection, we will guide you through licensing process. We'll guide you through uh, interview skills, interview preparation. We will help you polish your resume, um, and also organize interviews with the hospital. Okay. And, not to mention details of, we'll screen your resume, we'll tell you what to mention, what not to mention. We will prepare you um, with the training program. So this is pre-interview. Once the interview is done and you're selected, the whole series of post-selection process, which includes, visa, immigration, LMIA, basis work permit, all of that, will be taken care of. And then, of course, before you accept the offer, if you need help with salary negotiations, union contract signature, how to interpret various Canadian terms, including currency, etc., will help you with all of that. Once you are ready to go and your visa is approved, we will help you book your tickets. And before you leave, we'll do a cultural training, okay, including some experts from Canada who will tell you how the locals will behave. Okay, so we'll do the cultural training for you. All right, and once the cultural training is done, we will find accommodation for you. We'll make sure you land safely. Of course, the pilot has to do the job to take you to Canada. But once you land in Canada, we'll make sure you are transferred to the accommodation. You get some temporary accommodation. You get some local support to help you settle fast. So all the pastoral support till the day you join the hospital or you are onboarded on the hospital on day one. Okay, all the process, everything is supported by Nursify. And once you land there, even after that, till such time you settle down, for at least for 6 to 9 months, we will still continue to talk to you. And if you need help with the PR process after that, we'll be very happy to help you. Okay, of course, through a lawyer in Canada. So Nursify believes in building long-term relationships with nurses. I still keep getting messages from nurses whom we sent 3-4 years ago, and they're still in touch. We want to make sure that you are treated very well, and we send you to good hospitals. And for all these services, we would like to charge the hospital directly. That's how the whole process works. And Nursify team will be with you. You will have a specialized recruitment consultant who will help you at every step of the process. Okay. What we ask from you is commitment, honesty promptly submitting all the documents, and commitment to the process.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Madan. We have been getting a lot of questions, so I would like to first of all take those questions.
Sure.
Before that, just one last question. When is the next batch or group being processed for Canada jobs now?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
I'm saying, when is the next batch starting for Canadian process? And just one more thing, for everyone in the audience, I would request you to keep sending the questions now. We will be taking the questions from now on. So please keep sending your questions. In a minute, we'll start taking the questions.
Yeah, so I think, as I said, we are certainly starting a new batch in June itself. Okay, and we need to meet the the demand pretty quickly. We have requirements from British Columbia, Manitoba, and PI. Very more importantly, within British Columbia, we have 4 hospitals or 4 large groups. Excuse me, who will be requiring the nurses very soon. So our first uh, first batch is basically starting, soon. There are no age limits to uh, uh, for the nurses. We have sent people as young as 24 and as younger as 59. Okay, so I think these are kind of as long as you have requirements, you meet the requirements, should be fine. So I think that we need to send definitely land some nurses, about at least 150 of them by December, January, and by December, January. So which means we need to start working now. So basically, within this month, the batch is starting as early as next week. And if you are interested, you should register and join our program, as quickly as possible. Yeah. Akshay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Mr. Madan. So now we'll be taking up the questions. I will be starting with the first question that I have received here. How to apply? So I'm just sharing a link here which is a Google form link. So you can submit your details here, and we will be very happy to take your screening, and we'll take you ahead in the process. So first, I believe this is done, and this is for everyone, not just for the one who asked. This is for everyone. Then Dilman is asking, is IELTS or PT, what is the IELTS or PT requirement? So I think, Dilman, IELTS requirement is clearly mentioned. It's 7. Mr. Madan, what is the PTE requirement and what is the score required in this?
So you need PTE with the Canadian language benchmark of 7. Okay, whatever that converts to PTE exactly, I will get my team to come back to you. But yeah, Canadian language benchmark of 7. Yeah.
Okay, great. Is BSc or GNM accepted?
As I said, GNM, both are accepted, BSc and GNM. However, for like some provinces, may want to only take candidates who are BSc only. Okay, but let's say if you have a GNM with 10 years of experience or 5 years of experience, I think you can apply.
Which is the best? Which province is the best for registration?
That's a good one. Whosoever asked that question, a smart one. I think there are provinces which are easier to register, like Alberta and Nova Scotia, very easy to register. Some provinces will ask you to go through a SEP, which is Supervised Practice Program, SPP, of about 3 months before you can become a registered nurse. But British Columbia, Alberta, Nova Scotia will be immediately able to take you as a registered nurse as quickly as possible. The other question that's coming up is OET. Yes, OET is acceptable for your registration, but the OET results are sometime bit challenging for immigration. So for immigration, I would suggest you do IELTS general. B, you need a for OET you need a overall score of band B. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please go ahead.
The next question that I have is what? Okay. Is home care nurse job available? Nisha is asking.
Yes, it's very much available. We are looking for. We are looking for. I'm sorry, I'm trying to answer the questions as well. So, yes, in Ontario, there is a lot of requirements for home care. And within home care, there are two kinds of jobs. If you are, if you want to go as registered nurse in a long-term care, you need to have a registration license and IELTS 7. If you want to go as a private support worker, you do not need NCLEX. You do not need license. Okay, and the license and the IELTS score is also required, very limited. So, yes, for home care, the requirements are a little relaxed, and you don't need license, and you don't need you don't need license, you don't need NCLEX. However, those jobs don't pay you that well. The jobs will pay you between $25 and $30, whereas, or rather $25, whereas the listeners will fetch you, somewhere close to $40 upwards.
Thank you. Then Saurav is asking, it's 2 years work permit offer from your Canadian employer. Could they help provide genuine job offer letter for PSW? Other job under NOC 44101, that job offer letter I used to submit for my application in upcoming caregiver pilot program PR for 2025.
Yeah, so I think the way I would answer this question is, if you want to go as a PSW, so you will get a 2-year contract, definitely, and that you can use to apply PR, definitely. But, my advice to you would be, in the beginning, go under a work permit, settle yourself there, see if you want to stay in the country, and then apply for PR. That would be my advice, but it's your personal choice.
Soni Varghese is asking, I'm Soni Varghese from India, Delhi. She's a BSc nurse, MBA in hospital administration, total 16 years of experience in oncology. I'm research study nurse, around 102 clinical trials in oncology. I've been participated as a research study nurse. How can come there? How can she come there in Canada and get the job as a research study nurse?
So, Soni, I would recommend that you send us your resume. Yours is a very typical, or rather different case. Usually, if you want to go as a clinical nurse, then I think the process is very simple. In your case, I will have to check with the client if they have a requirement for research study nurse. And then, so send your resume at hello@nursify.co.uk, and we should be able to look at your specific case and give you feedback.
Okay, great. Then I have a question, and this question is regarding money. What security money amount we need to pay? And somebody else is also asking about what any processing charges. So a question about money is being raised
Sure.
here.
First of all, let me reiterate, Nursify does not charge you any processing fee for recruitment. Okay. So yes, it's zero. Okay. Number one. Number two, we do ask for security deposit to make sure you're committed in the process. And the total security deposit required is 4,000 Canadian dollars, which is roughly around 250,000 rupees. 50% of that, which is 125,000 or 2,000 Canadian dollars, we ask at the time of enrollment, and the remaining 50% we ask for when we conduct your first interview. Okay, the whole objective, and apart from that, nobody from Nursify will ask you for any money. Okay, no processing charges. We will arrange your air ticket, accommodation, temporary accommodation for you to settle, and most likely you will be able to get your license fee reimbursed as well. Okay. And as I said, there is no cost for recruitment. If you need training on IELTS or OET or NCLEX, of course, we will refer you to our partners who can provide you training. But for recruitment, we do not charge anything.
Then Manisha is asking that she is a psychiatric nurse and has about 15 years of experience since last 4 years working as psychiatric nurse. She's asking which IELTS she needs to give, general or academic, and she wants to go to Canada.
A good question, Manisha. So you will need to appear for 2 IELTS, one academic for your license registration, and for immigration, you need to take general exam.
Okay, got it. Thank you. I hope
Hope
that
this answers your question, Manisha. Yeah.
Nitya is asking family status, and Mahesh is asking is diploma okay?
So what's the first question? Sorry.
Family status, like how can they, like what will be the status of their families?
So your family can go on a dependent visa. As a dependent visa holder, your family member can, it'll be an open work permit, and they can work or do business. I need to confirm, but they can work with any employer on a part-time or a full-time basis. What's the next one?
Yeah, Samitha is asking that she has 33 years of experience in cardiothoracic OT, and she has done MSc wording as well. So she's asking for that.
MSc nursing.
MSc nursing.
Yes.
Sorry.
So what's your question, Smita?
So am I eligible for the Canada?
Yeah, definitely. I think cardiac, definitely. As I said earlier, I think ICU, OT, ER, if you're in cardiac OT or even ward, apply for it. I think.
But age is
Canada-
a problem, na? Age is a matter.
Man, age is just a number.
Okay, so I can come there, right? And work
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the...
definitely. Yeah. So to be very honest with you, we have sent people who are, I mean, I assume you're on the north side of 50, right? So, you know, quite frankly, we have sent people as younger as 58. So I won't worry, to be honest.
Okay.
Say no, I will still try.
So can I ask you a question?
Sure, yes, please.
Sir, you told me I have to give 2 IELTS, right? My name
Yes.
is Manisha, and I'm working as a psychiatric nurse. I had last year 24, I gave examination for OET, and I got a reading C plus and other are B. So was that okay? Or I have to give a IELTS? Hello.
Mani,
My apologies. Could you repeat the question, please?
So I just wanted to ask you, you told me two IELTS required, like general and academic.
Yes.
It was not clear for me why it is like one academic IELTS is more than enough. That's what I know.
Yeah. So for registration, your IELTS academic will be more than enough. You also mentioned that you've taken OET.
Yes.
And what was your score in OET?
My score was listening C plus, writing B, writing, listening, reading C, and speaking B.
Yeah. So I think you can use your OET for license registration, but and for visa, you need to appear for IELTS journal.
IELTS general.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll do that.
Yeah.
But my age is also 45. As you told, age is just a number, but still I'm worried.
Yeah, I think, Manisha, what you can do is send us your documents because to be fair to you, I will not be able to comment on specific details of your this thing. Send us the detail, okay? And one of my recruitment consultants should be able to speak to you. But yeah, I mean, 45 age is not a problem. I just said 55 is okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. Any other questions?
I think Nagma has a question. Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, Nagma, you have any question?
Sir, good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, I am confirmed कि वीजा चार्ज, टिकट चार्ज आई एम पे करना पड़ेगा क्या मुझको?
I am sorry, ma'am, I couldn't hear your question.
वीजा चार्ज एंड टिकट चार्ज मुझको आई एम पे?
Okay. No, visa charges and the ticket charges are paid by the employer. You don't need to pay anything.
Okay.
Nagma, did you get your answer? You
I
don't
am
have to.
experienced 5 years nurse. You are request hospital jobs in A&M nursing diploma 2 years.
You done nursing diploma of 2 years. And what's your question?
Process.
Are you from India?
Yes.
You can speak in Hindi if you like. That's fine. आपका क्वेश्चन क्या है मैम?
कितना टाइम लग जाएगा मुझको?
हाँ, तो आपको लाइसेंस ले लिया है अभी?
जी
आपके पास लाइसेंस है? एमक्लेक्स किया हुआ आपने?
यस यस एनएम नर्सिंग डिप्लोमा 2 years एक्सपीरियंस 5 years हॉस्पिटल नर्स.
ओके, सो आपको तकरीबन 9 to 12 months लगेंगे. 9 to 12 months.
अब से ही स्टार्ट होएगा मेरा प्रोसेस.
यस.
मुझको क्या क्या करना पड़ेगा?
या ठीक है, तो आप एक काम करिए, लिंक भेजा है अक्षित ने, अपनी इंफॉर्मेशन भेज दीजिए, देन वन ऑफ आवर रिक्रूटमेंट कंसल्टेंट विल गेट इन टच विद यू.
सारी इंफॉर्मेशन भेजनी है मुझको अपनी.
यस. अभी आपको एक
Documents वगैरह
फॉर्म
भी?
दिया गया है, आप वो फॉर्म भर दीजिए.
वो फॉर्म तो मैंने फिल कर दिया है सर.
ओके. अक्षित, कैन यू हेल्प हर?
यस यस नगमा, डोंट वरी, अभी आपको ना कॉल आएगा हमारी तरफ से. So what we will do, we will have one-on-one conversation जहाँ पे आपके
Thank
ना
you so much.
जो भी questions हैं, NCLEX वगैरह जो भी है, वो सारे आंसर हो जाएंगे. Also, don't worry, ठीक है? Don't worry. अभी आप कहाँ पे हो? You're in which part of India?
UP Bulandshahr.
UP Bulandshahr. Okay, great. So don't worry, we will be able to help you. ठीक है? We are helping nurses across the globe. अभी आप तो इंडिया में ही हो, so don't worry. And Mr. Madan is also an Indian. UK की कंपनी है, but Mr. Madan being Indian, he is little supportive, and that is why he has taken out
Thank
time.
you. Thank you so much.
Don't worry.
Thank you, Dangma. All right.
So Lito Tiju is asking, may I know where is your agency in there in JC in Kerala?
Okay.
So we are based out of UK and Dubai, India, and Canada. In India, we are based out of Gurgaon, Delhi, and but you can contact us virtually or Zoom call or phone call, no issues.
Okay, great. Any more questions, anybody? I am sharing the link again. You will get this link on your WhatsApp numbers as well. You need to complete the form registration and be available for a one-on-one conversation, wherein we'll be talking to you about how exactly we can take the process ahead and what exactly is required from your end to proceed with us.
Actually, there are a few more questions, like maybe you want to take this from the chat?
Yeah, I'll just take it. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Only Canada, sir. Before interview, we need to give IELTS, NCLEX. Sorry, yes, Priya, you need to give NCLEX. Smita has answered.
Yeah, so I think you need to give, ideally you should give NCLEX before the interview, but what you can do is, if you already booked your NCLEX, we may be able to arrange your interview and get you through the process. So it is it is required, but if you're still in the process, we should be able to take your interview process forward. Okay. Diploma is fine. Mahesh had asked that question earlier. Yeah.
I think we've covered almost anybody's question is left. Nisha, she's a home care nurse, total 11 years of experience, and home care nurse. Is she eligible? Nisha is asking, is she eligible? She has about 11 years of experience.
Yes, you can, Nisha, as a home care experience, right? You said? Actually, you said home care, right?
Yes, home care.
Yeah. So 11 years of home care experience, you can apply for a PSW job or a long-term care job. Yeah.
Okay. Sunita is asking, what is the total expense?
Yeah. So Sunita, as I said earlier, we do not charge anything for the process. This process from Nursify is completely free of charge. And in fact, your visa, tickets, immigration, etc. is taken care of. What we do ask, however, is a security deposit. And once you start the process of counseling with us, we can share all the details. So we ask for security deposit, which will be refundable once you get a job and land in Canada. So we do not charge anything from the process. Some of you may ask, why am I doing it free? No, it's not free for me. I run a business and we make our money, or we make our revenue from the employer. So I'm not doing any charity, although I would love to help all the nurses do charity. But we charge hospital for providing this service, and we do not want to charge any of our nurses even a single penny. Okay. So Sunita, I hope this answers your question.
Yeah. So we have care worker opportunities available. Sandeep is asking.
Yes, absolutely. Care worker opportunities are available, especially in the state of Ontario, province of Ontario. You can send your, you can fill up the form, send your details, and we'll be very happy to take your resume forward.
Initially, how much we need to pay as a security amount? Can we pay in installments?
Yes, you can pay in installments, 2 installments. The first installment is 2,000 Canadian dollars, which is roughly 1,25,000 rupees, Indian rupees. You pay first, and then the remaining 1.25 lakhs you can pay at the time of your first interview.
How many vacancies do you have for PSW? Saurav is asking from Ahmedabad.
Yeah, so sort of number of vacancies can vary from time to time. So we are looking to hire between 150 and 300 care workers over the period of next 6 months.
Any more questions, anybody? I mean, we'll be very happy to answer your questions. If you have any questions, you should be sharing it in the chat box or fill up the link that we have shared with you. You will be getting a call from our end to proceed with the next steps.
NCLEX is compulsory for everyone, sir?
So for a registered nurse job, Smita, you need NCLEX.
Okay,
If you are going for a PSW job, you don't need NCLEX.
okay,
PSW is care home workers. It's
okay.
called private support workers. You don't need NCLEX. But I assume you are a registered nurse, so you would require NCLEX.
Yes, sir. I have done MSc nursing and I am working in cardiothoracic operation theater as an in charge. I have assisted so many open heart surgery also. Heart replacement surgery also.
So you're Dr. Trihan's friend, I guess. Okay.
No, Dr.
So-
Rajesh Desai.
I understand. No, I was just kidding. Sure. So I think what you can do is, then you should go for a registered nurse position with so much of experience. So you need to do NCLEX.
But initially I can come there as that PSW and then I can give exam there if it is possible.
Oh, definitely is possible, but I thought nurse with your experience may not want to go as a PSW. That's why I suggested. But if you want to go, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Any more questions, anybody? You will be happy to have those questions here in the chat box. So Bhagya, I think you have already filled in the form. I'm a registered nurse, GNM. I have 6 years experience. I don't have OET score. That's okay. OET is not compulsory yet for Canada. Do you?
Yeah, I think somebody asked if you provide NCLEX training. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be
Yeah.
happy to provide NCLEX training.
Yes, sir. I wanted to give NCLEX and I want the training for that.
Sure. So that's possible.
Yeah. So anybody else who has anything, they should fill up this form. We will be sending this form link on your WhatsApp emails as well. Please do check them and fill the form, and we will be happy to have conversation one-on-one. Every doubt will be cleared. Your process should start soon because the batch is starting soon. So
Okay.
okay.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so
indeed
much,
a pleasure-
everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Indeed
Thank
a
you.
pleasure talking to all of you, and have a good weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.